try not to.
Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, with family's everything.
Until it's not.
That's
I am Aunt.
And I am Andrew.
How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine.
What is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Stuffing.
Name them. Name them. Name them. Name them.
Sweet potato pie.
Name them. Name them. Name them.
I love that. I actually think name them.
What was better? Name them?
Name them. Name them is almost better than the rumors.
Well, what about this one? Oh, it's nice to see you. And maybe it's nice to apologize.
The Cruella. I wrote down Cruella. She kind of played Cruella, didn't she? Weren't you waiting for Cruella to come out?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what I said. Hello.
Do you know what I noticed? Sutton talks like a baby.
She,
little Sutton, I'm Southern.
I was going to say she brings out the Southern at the convenient time. Sutton. Because all of a sudden it was Cruella when she wanted Cruella. And then it was name 'em. Name 'em. I'm a Southern girl. Yeah.
Crazy.
The whole thing but she has had some unhinged moments, but we all love unhinged. Who hasn't had an unhinged moment as a housewife?
No, I agree.
That's almost its own podcast. Who has never been unhinged as a housewife? Because every housewife becomes unhinged. Has Crystal had an unhinged moment?
Well, I don't know if they become unhinged, all of them. I think some of them, their actions...
some of them are full on unhinged.
No, but I think what Kyle
it.
meant when Kyle said unhinged is that like Sutton blows little things up massively. And it leaves everyone being like, what? Like
what I'm saying is
leather pants. Like those are comments that come out of left field that
is a little,
people
that
confused.
is a little bit. Yeah. She said the leather pants, you lost it in Tahoe was funny when they went back to Tahoe and she's got the roller on her face. Like that is
kooky, like
kooky
things.
Like that's eccentric.
And that's what Kyle meant. Kyle was like, some
that's
women
very eccentric.
Kyle's like, some people would have like a smug look on their face because they wish they had gone up on stage on Magic Mike, and we would have been like, what's wrong? They were like, you don't think about me. I wore pants. I wanted to go up.
Yeah, that was,
why would I come here if I'm on the board of the ballet? Why would I come here if I didn't want to get fondled? Right. Instead, she's like, I don't want to be here. I'm part of the American Ballet Foundation.
Yes, I know.
This is not
I know. And it was very strange the way. I mean, that is itself is weird. Are you eating Skittles again?
Always. I want that to be my thing.
I think you're triggering me. I might have to rub my face. Well,
so
I dropped my roller.
What did you think of that interaction? Because I think that Kyle's absolutely right. Not going for
agree.
No. I'm saying just with the idea that Sutton wasn't just flipping it like, when Kyle goes, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Sutton's not just flipping it and being like, well, what's going on with you? She's going, what's going on with you? And Kyle is absolutely right. That was based on the rumors. It was based on everything going on. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think that Sutton reacted unnatural. I think when a lot of people come at you with that stuff, it's like, oh, you want to talk about me? Why don't we talk about you? Because you've got issues going on here that nobody's discussing. So I get that. As we would know.
Yes.
Think about it.
Just think that
it's
Sutton
like everybody
knows
you think Sutton was dirty. Oh yeah, yes. But that's their job. The housewife.
Because Kyle wasn't being dirty. There's no other person involved with Sutton. Kyle was insinuating like, are you in a bad place? Like, just are you going through a hard
I do
time?
think something's off on Sutton though.
Yes, but I don't think it may involve it's not involving a 20-year marriage and 4 kids.
Right. I think there is something going on with Sutton.
Maybe, but it doesn't have the kind of baggage that Kyle's does. And that's why I'm saying that based on it was like 10 pounds versus 100. And Sutton decided to drop the 100 pounds when Kyle brought up 10.
Okay, but we don't know what's going on with Sutton. If we might find something's going on with, I don't know. We might find out something's going on with Sutton that is going to be, it's maybe 50 or 60 pounds, not the full 100.
He just wants to get a man in her life and she wants to be
No,
relevant.
I think there's something going on.
Really? Because she's shoving Abby in our face again.
I know.
Now his title's changed. He was like chief
house
of
manager
staff or something, house manager.
No,
now he's
the horse trainer. He's the horse trainer.
He's like he was the house manager. Now he's like operations manager. Oh, maybe he got a promotion.
Yeah, well, you know what happens in a lot of these situations. You get a job title change, but no money.
I know.
Yeah. It's just you get a job title. Oh, we'll name you chief operating officer, but you're still making $3 an hour.
I have a feeling that Crystal Kung Minkoff, as much as I think she's tried very, very, very hard to become a housewife.
Yeah.
Using your brother's storyline
with so
the marriages bad. And that you ruined it, but yet he's obsessed with you and your husband again.
I thought the whole thing was very contrived.
No, I just think I think it's desperate. I think it's real, but I just think, Crystal, I don't even think you care that you ruined your brother's marriage.
Yeah, she does.
So I don't think you care at all.
And not only that, I was insulted that the poor children had to get in on the act with saying, we're going to go watch Back to the Future. You know, those kids aren't going to watch Back to the Future.
No.
That was the fed line to them to say, now, did the father work on Back to the Future?
Probably.
Yeah, that's all I could think of is they're just trying to self-promote here. And
how about she goes, it's the traditional Chinese.
And not only that, I hate when they make it out like the housekeeper is really sitting down to dinner with them. Like, please,
I know.
Stop insulting me. We know that she's never sat there before. You have her scrubbing the dishes. Please stop. It's insulting.
And maybe she is, but she's like probably sitting down for a second, getting up, and then like cleaning up your place. It's not like you are all sitting down together and breaking bread.
No. And she already made the food. She set the table. She bought the food. She placed it on the table.
It was kind of like you on Thursday.
Yeah, you all started
cooking, cleaning, barely sitting and eating.
And then she had 2 bites, and then the family was done. So she had to get up and move their dishes and clean up afterwards and put it away. And then it was like, I can't wait to get away.
But how about she goes the traditional Chinese way? Like, that's why my mother and I wanted to get him here. And in my mind, I'm like, well, what about you, honey? I don't think the traditional Chinese way is to marry a white man that's like, not your part of your culture. Like, I mean,
exactly.
I think it's different, probably, maybe like because of men and women and like that kind of gender conversation. But at the same time, I'm like maybe it's more traditional for the Chinese man to marry a Chinese woman, but it's okay for a Chinese woman to marry outside of. I don't know. But my point is that
I don't know where they met.
In an untraditional marriage, you look kind of like in a biracial marriage.
Yes.
You look kind of hypocritical by saying that you guys needed to take your brother out of his Chinese marriage,
right,
or impending marriage, to get him home.
Yes.
From, well, I mean, maybe
China, where you have a home.
Maybe the other reason why, though, is maybe that's why they wanted him out of there, because that's where the virus originated. Who knows? That could
I understand that aspect of it, but we found out that.
But why didn't she say that?
It
has nothing to do with Chinese tradition. It has to do with the fact that you wanted to get him as far away from Wuhan as possible.
They're probably not even near Wuhan. I mean, China's huge. You could be like LA to New York.
Oh, you're right. You're right. China's massive.
Yeah. It's not like, it's not Rhode Island. I want to say 2 things. 1, we found out that Crystal has a home in China.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know. And 2, I'm going to tell you, it's been my experience in life that money trumps race.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it doesn't almost matter.
Oh, you mean if like your parents have an issue with you marrying into a certain race, but they have a lot of money, they make exceptions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you think that
I've seen that before where it's like, oh, my daughter's marrying a man that's XYZ, but he's also
we've heard
ambassador to India or something, like, you know what I mean? Yep. So it doesn't matter.
And then you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So
but really I know how you talk about other things to that same person. You're like, right. But whatever, to each their own.
That's where I say it's been my experience in life that money trumps race.
Yes, I hear you.
So
in the conversation,
chances are that Crystal's husband, who I can't think of his name right now, that's how. After 3 years.
Oh my goodness. I love him though. I actually really like him. I think he's like very open and honest and like a good guy.
Yeah. Is it like Steve or something?
No, Minkoff though. Minkoff. Oh God, we'll remember.
Well,
I will say though, the one thing about her, the one thing though that I
we should know. We should know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's this, if she really would love to try to have a
Rob.
Oh yeah, Rob.
I knew it was some type of name. Like, we
she should
apologize,
have
Rob.
the producers do a trip to China.
Oh, that's what they need. She'd
be the center of it. That would be like smart. Cause I do like her on the show.
That's a long trip. It's
she
like
has real money.
300 hours to get there.
You know why I like her? Because she's not from Beverly Hills.
True.
I don't think
she is a California girl.
But she's not fame hungry. You can tell. I think she's success hungry, money hungry, a nice family hungry. And I think she enjoys this. But I also think she loves her life. And that's the kind of thing
she's very comfortable.
That's the part of the housewife part that I think needs to be the number one on the checklist, is that you love your current life. They should not be trying to pull people onto the show to use the housewives to improve their lives like Monica. Because if Monica was happy, for example, on Salt Lake, if she was happy in her life,
and
it was still like she was single mother of 4 and they were all happy, I could deal with her having different means, having a different kind of experience.
Right.
I don't like the people that come on that are like using the housewives, like that Diana woman on Beverly Hills.
Oh, she was, and you know what? He wants her back.
No, that was a rumor or whatever.
Yeah, but Andy likes her and wants her back. Oh, please,
I
never
think he
bring
wants
her
the kind
back.
of money.
She's
No. What he said was that's the kind of energy he wants, that kind of money.
Oh, he meant money by energy.
Yes.
Yeah, because she had no energy.
Yes.
Yeah, she was very.
What did you think about?
He also wants the person who has Elton John on speed dial.
Yes, of course.
And that's why he does like Sutton, even though I don't know if he really likes Sutton, because Sutton has like the crowns by Dolce & Gabbana.
Dolce.
You know what I mean? And she's that. Now, I will say this. Oh, I want to say this about Sutton. Let's finish Sutton.
Okay.
And because then we got to go back to Sutton. The horse, Santos, is spectacular.
I don't like Sutton, so if you want to talk about
I don't know. No. I'm going to say, though, that horse was beautiful. That horse was a gorgeous horse. Now, she paid only $47,000 for it, which I'm going to tell you, that horse was gorgeous. And I kind of know how much horses go for because I've talked to people who ride and stuff.
Who owns Seabiscuit? Who owns Seabiscuit?
Who owns Seabiscuit?
Do you remember his name?
Seabiscuit? The one that won the Derby?
Yeah. Do you remember the guy's name who owned him?
No, who?
Exactly. So who cares about Sutton? Let's remember the horse.
No, that's why I'm talking about the horse. I'm talking about the horse.
Yeah, well, no one will ever remember Sutton, the owner.
But I'm going to tell you, that horse was a beautiful horse. And
who, Jennifer Tilly?
Oh, the horse was beautiful. Santos is a beautiful animal. Okay. And I found it fascinating that Sutton's manicurist also just bought a horse.
That's nice.
I find it fascinating that the manicurist can afford a horse.
What if she owns the nail salon?
Well, then she owns 15 nail salons. That's what I'm going to say. I don't think it's a woman who just comes to her house and does her nails and soaks her feet.
What if she loves nails? Or also, what if she comes to her? No, here's my thing too. What if she's that good and she's like that high end and she goes to people's houses to do their nails?
That's what I'm saying. I find it interesting. She can afford a horse.
What if she has no kids?
Well, I don't know, but the horse was beautiful. I'm just going to say that I was impressed that the manicurist
thinking of getting a boat. Now, if I had 2 kids like my sister, you think I'd be thinking of getting a boat?
Well, a boat and a horse are different.
Money-wise, they're pretty similar.
And you're not a manicurist.
I get it, but my point is that she doesn't have kids, and also imagine how much money or the manicurist. We don't know her. What if
we don't know the manicurist?
What if the manicurist doesn't have kids? What if she has what if she just loves doing nails but has an ex-husband like Sutton that pays her $300,000 a month?
I can't believe anybody who's making $300,000 a month in alimony is doing nails because
I don't know what to tell you.
Feet are funky. Okay, let's go to Erika quickly.
Oh, Erika and her mother.
Horrible.
I always forget that Erika came out of a vagina, to be honest with you. I think
I'm she's made in
Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
She said bitch to her mom.
I hate it.
Oh, I thought it was so horrible. And then she told her she was shady AF.
I gotta tell you something. Can I tell you something? My beloved Bradley talks to his mom in similar language.
No, he doesn't, does he?
They just horrible. He says a word that you don't like.
No, not that word.
To each their own. I'm horrified when I hear the F word. I
her?
couldn't believe how much.
To her?
Not like to her, towards her.
But he
about someone else.
references her?
When he was telling a story. No,
don't let this go into it.
When he was telling a story about how someone else used it, he didn't say the such and such word. He said the actual word.
Oh, yeah.
I just tap dance around it. But I also tap dance around the F word. Like on Thanksgiving, he was using like F-bombs. And I'm just like, woo. I know I use them with you on the air, different places. And I use it a lot in my day-to-day life. But I think maybe because I like on the phone with like work, I don't, unless like depending on who I'm talking to, very rarely. Right. That it's something where like I tap dance away from it. But I didn't like how she talked that way. I also thought she was created in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. So I was like, this bitch Erika came out like the golden ticket. This girl did not come from a nursery.
My thoughts on the F word is that it's more effective when it's shocking and you hear it.
Yeah.
If you hear it every other word a person says, it just becomes another word. Where it's such an effective word, it should only be used sporadically.
Have you seen Bad Moms Christmas?
No, as an accentuation point.
You know Bad Moms?
No, I never saw it.
Mila Kunis is in it.
I know who's in it, but could I
Bad
be a
Moms
bad
Christmas,
mom? Could I be a bad mom?
Yeah, you'd love it. You need to watch it because you'd be and you're kind of right in the middle of like the moms, like Mila Kunis, and their mothers that are also portrayed on the show.
Yeah.
But
I'm probably more like the mother.
You'd love Bad Moms Christmas. You need to watch it. One of the first parts is when when Mila Kunis, her boyfriend, has a daughter, and the daughter's around the family. And when Mila Kunis finds out that her mother's coming for Christmas, she says, "Oh my God!" And everyone's like, "What?" And she goes, "My mom's coming for Christmas." And then the little girl who's like 6. The boyfriend's daughter goes, "Oh my fucking God."
Yeah, like that's what I mean. It's effective then. Yeah.
Yep.
So it should be sporadic, I think, the F word.
Yeah.
Because if it's every other syllable, like some people I know, it starts to, it's just another word. It doesn't mean anything. Then they have to go to then they have to bring that word in.
I left out a key part of the story.
But then they have to bring out that word and their mother for it to be effective.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It shows the point, because in that point, the reason why the F word's brought up is Mila Kunis, the little child goes, "You swear all the time at my dad." And then Mila Kunis goes, "No, I don't." She goes, "Yeah, that's the other day. You said to him, 'Oh my fucking God.'" And then Mila Kunis is like, "You shouldn't talk like that." And then the phone rings. She goes and gets the phone. It's her mom saying she's coming for Christmas. She hangs up. She goes, "Oh my God." She goes,
she said it again.
And then the guy goes, "What's wrong?" She goes, "My mother's coming for Christmas." And then the little girl, after telling her the reprimand, goes, "Oh my fucking God." So you're right. It has to be used in a way. So I hear you. Like, so Erika,
I just think it should be effective.
I get it why Erika's also saying, like, I question these. Let me tell you something. It's one thing I've always questioned.
Oh, the mom thing.
Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, all these people. That show Pretty Wild that was on E! Years ago, and they were out at the clubs at 16, 15. Who the is working at these clubs and not wondering what a 15-year-old is walking in? I'm sorry. Yeah. I look at some 18, 19, 20-year-olds that Brad works with, and I think they look 12. How do you not know when someone looks like under 21?
No, they know they're 15. They're just brought in.
So Erika, I don't believe these stories that the mom was
she was talking about the mom was bringing her in
the South. No,
maybe they weren't nightclubs.
Maybe she was at home and just drinking with them.
No, but maybe they weren't nightclubs. Maybe they were like the equivalent of a restaurant that becomes a bar later on that's got music,
I guess. Wow.
You know, I mean, maybe it was like the local VFW for all we know, that anybody can go in.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe it was like,
you're right. You're right.
The Elks Club,
the 99, even you can be a kid at the bar with your parents.
Could be, exactly. Or that you were over there, or something similar to that. That's what I know. I'm thinking like Ground Round. Remember the Ground Round?
Oh yeah,
you could throw the peanuts.
I ate a jalapeno pepper there once and jumped on the table screaming.
And then they went out of business. I want to say that Dorit, surprise. I'm starting to question the whole trauma.
Oh, when she said, "When I'm around a lot of people," I'm like, "You live in Beverly Hills, move to Idaho."
And then she kept on, "Oh, I didn't know there were going to be people. There were going to be people." And I think she's deliberately, though, glammed down.
Maybe.
As a
lookalike a Kim Kardashian after the ring was stolen in France.
Yeah. She's playing this a little bit, and Garcelle does say, "You mean like she was still wearing her jewelry after the robbery?" I mean,
yeah,
I've always questioned it. Is all I
do
say.
too, and I also have to say that this is
and remember. Oh, this is just another thing I want to say. Remember, Kyle got robbed too,
and she never heard it again.
Yeah,
you never heard it again.
I'm just saying.
So Kyle really got robbed, and Dorit wants to be more like Kyle.
Yeah, but it was always shady.
Yeah,
that Kyle got robbed after Teddy Mellencamp's husband did their security system.
Oh yeah, that was shady. Well, I will. That's
shady.
So a couple things.
But 9 times out of 10, when you get robbed by someone, it's after they've done work in your house. Like you get your rugs cleaned, the Stanley Steamer man is, his friends stealing you. You got a plumber come in. I'm not saying just a plumber or whatever, but you have your house painted. Next thing you know, you're being lifted. It's because they get to know you're when you come and when you go, and they've been around, and they tell somebody else. And then they tell
someone that they know that does it. They go and do it, and they split the profit.
Yeah. Everybody I know who's been robbed is after they get something done in their house.
Huh. You learn something new every day, guys.
And
only on Auntie and Andrew.
But then they also get to know if you have a security system or not. And if they are in your house and they find out you don't have a security system, then it's open season.
So the real lesson there is get a fake one no matter what.
Yeah, at least put a sign up that says secure by bricks.
I agree.
Okay.
So I will say this, that I think Dorit sometimes puts her foot in her mouth where she also talks about things at the wrong times. I was happy she didn't in this moment.
Right.
I was nervous when she said in the car, "Oh, I didn't know there was many people coming." I thought it was going to be like
but then she has a full mirror.
But I thought it was going to be a thing at the event.
Yeah.
And I would have thought to myself, if this dumb girl brings up her robbery at a film being called Black Girl Missing,
I want to do.
It's going to look like, and I don't think it will be the truth, but what it will look like, because Dorit is not smart.
Yes.
Is that the white girl is going, "Oh, but this movie Black Girl Missing triggers my robbery," which is just like the same way that Dorit didn't mean, Garcelle, you can't still be impacted by what happened with your kids.
Right.
It's the fact that you need to say, she just said it wrong. Dorit needed to say to her, wait, so are you never going to be okay talking about your family? Or is this something you're trying to get used to? You know that we didn't mean that or whatever. But instead she's like, wait, what?
I know.
What's his name? Much. Maverick. What's her son's name?
Jagger.
Jagger.
Mick.
I was thinking Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Jagger. And you're never gonna talk to my little Jag again. It's no, she's talking about how maybe her kids actually go to the housewives event, and the last time she brought kids to the housewives event, Erika, it's not that she it's just so tone deaf. But I will say about that movie, I work with a speaker who sued Lifetime and Garcelle because of a project that they had been working on. I don't know if they ended up suing. They were going to, but they were ended up
confidential.
No, because I'm not going to say the name.
Okay,
but let me actually repeat this, and I'll edit this out. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not. The amount of people we have listening to this point is 4 people. If you're listening, spread it around.
No, don't go there. If you have a question,
all I'll say is that they basically there was a podcast that had been in the running for 3 years about Black women missing, and it was a whole thing. And let's just say this: it could have been a resource that Garcelle could have tapped into. And I just think that there's an immense amount of privilege when there's people that do it. When you're doing stories about minorities, I do believe, and I only know this just when I think of gay stories, and I think of people that have experienced speakers that I know that were part of the gay liberation movement in San Francisco and HIV and AIDS and leading people to equal marriage and all that.
Yeah.
They always feel very slighted these days when this new activist who does one little thing,
is all of
social
a sudden
media and Gen Z and then they're put on this pedestal. Because we do, but this is the same way in all parts of life.
Who are 50 years old for 30 years fought the battle aren't getting any recognition.
It happens in all. It happens in
everything.
Non-margin. It happens in unmarginalized communities. It happens in industries where
I can totally get
families.
That.
I mean,
I know. Yeah. I know.
So what I'm saying though is I can see why that would happen, and I think that that's just something. But I do say, Garcelle to me is
first of all,
definition of class.
I was just gonna say, I wrote down class act.
Her
Class
sons are, and I just think that she shows like what happened was with her other son. I personally don't think, and I know that this sounds crazy, I think we saw a moment where no producer got in his ear. No one got in his ear.
You talking about Oliver, or are you talking about Jackson Sade or whatever?
No, the one that gave her critiques on her parenting.
Okay, why wasn't Oliver there? I was kind of.
He lives in Las Vegas.
But remember, Oliver came out very different than these two boys.
Yeah, but he might not be wanting to for this. I don't know. He's also had some airtime. She also maybe wanted it to be whatever. I don't know. All I can say is her son was definitely surprised her when he said,
amazing.
I need no. When he said I needed more of you, she was genuinely shocked that he said that.
Yeah. But I was talking more about him. Jack's talking to Erika.
Well, I will say this too. I think that I really hope that Erika, even though I know Lent won't be going on when they film the reunion.
Yeah, that's
Erika, understand that Garcelle was hosting a party. It was her movie. She probably had a lot of anxiety that day. You've been that with your Broadway shows and all this. She didn't mean what she said in her confessional, that she wishes you had gone there first. I genuinely believe that if you had crossed paths, Erika, in the headspace you were in with him at that party, you would not have just walked by him. If you had gotten to him first, you would have been the first to say, oh, honey, let me give you a hug. And you would have said to him quietly, maybe not with the crew there even, maybe not even with the camera crew, but you would have given him a hug and whispered in his ear and said, I'm so sorry. Because there is a change in Erika.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
And I even was reading the teaser of her mom being there at first.
Yeah.
They were saying that Erika offered her mom the couch.
No.
He said to her mom, you can have my room.
Oh, we can sleep together. I'll sleep on the couch.
Erika was very generous there.
Yeah. I wanted to say I was glad we got to see Ashlyn.
Oh, the girlfriend.
And the whole venue, everything was so old Hollywood. It was so Art Deco and old Hollywood. And I sort of loved the vibe. I'm just going to say that. I loved the vibe. I want to tell you, Lawrence Darien was there.
Okay.
And he just started his own clothing line on QVC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was funny. I saw him on there this week when I was flipping the channels, and I said, oh, there's Lawrence Darien.
What's her name from The Bachelorette was there? The black girl that was the first one seen on the red carpet. She was the former Bachelorette.
I forget her name.
Because she kind of looked like the person that I was talking about. And I was like,
oh okay. And Larsa
the person ended up being a producer. That's the story. The girl complained. They almost filed suit. And then Garcelle brought them into the project.
Oh, okay. I will say I wrote down specifically, Garcelle is lovely. I wrote that. Garcelle is lovely.
And do you know who told me she was lovely? Because I said that she was my favorite. She's like one of my favorite housewives. I said it to Adrienne Bailon, and she said that she was lovely when she worked on The Real with her for a year.
Oh, I'm sure she's just lovely. You can see, because eventually if you try to have a persona like that, it will slip and you'll see a crack in the veneer. We didn't see that. Now let's get to where the real crack is in this veneer.
Denise Richards.
Oh my God.
Coming in like Avril Lavigne.
She looked.
He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. I was like, oh my God, are you in high school with that jacket?
She looked fine.
She looked like she was going to be in the League of Their Own remake.
I thought she was going to Trader Joe's.
Oh, maybe.
She looked, and I put this, fine.
She has no problem with anyone. Well, she hasn't seen Sutton
but she looked strange. I'm saying she looked fine, but something is off.
So my question is she good with everyone though?
She looked strung out to me is what I'm going to say.
She looked a little, she did. She looked a little heroin-y.
Yeah, she looked a little strung out.
But maybe she lost a little weight too, because she looked a little skinnier.
I'm always suspicious of someone who's got all that hair and kind of known for hair to have it pulled back in a tight bun and ponytail. I'm always wonder why, because they're all about their hair and their face and the whole bit, with the hair. And I said she looked fine, but I also wrote, but she also looks strung out.
Yeah.
Or she's aging bad. That can happen.
Just so you know, we get introduced to the new woman.
Yeah, I know next week. I want to see
there's
how
a
old
rumor.
Not a rumor. I want to see how old Denise
Marcellus
Richards
Wiley, who used to play in the NFL, has there is a claim when he was at Columbia as an undergrad under the same law that that woman came after Trump after all those years, the civil law. They have like the adult out of statute of limitations. This girl's coming after him and it broke this week. Talk about timing. She must have known when the wife was about to come on the show.
Yeah, right.
What episode she was entering.
Denise is 52. Oh, and you know what we never mentioned?
What?
Is Denise Richards married, related to Kim Richards and Kyle? No. We never talked about that they have the same last name. That's funny. And it was funny they haven't seen her since 2020 Zoom.
Yeah,
which means they haven't technically seen her since 2019.
Totally. No.
Because it was all before that.
She has to have talked to them all because she was in a dark place with so many of them. And like, imagine she just showed up and was like, cool. And the one that I thought was interesting, but maybe they had a private reconciliation just because of what Erika was going through. Maybe it made a lot of sense that Denise could have some empathy after, Denise has been hit by a few tractor trailers in her day. So maybe she kind of did that with Erika, but Erika's very close with Rinna.
Yeah, I know. So she'll go after her.
Maybe Erika's really changed and she's able to like balance hard relationships.
What was Denise's husband's name?
Aaron.
I wonder how Aaron is. Now, we did see, okay, should we go back to Kyle and Sutton at the end?
I guess, yeah.
No, I mean, we kind of hit them, but I'm
happy Kyle's standing up for herself because don't shy away from the fact that yes, you were being very direct with Sutton, but you were not. The reason why Sutton's house got out of control is because Sutton kept going, name him.
Right. No, she went, name him.
Now, Kyle Richards does have a little bit of a leader kind of tone, attitude, air to
definitely.
Her.
Yes.
But she's the OG of the Beverly Hills.
She is. Yeah, because she got
I thought about it today. The OG of these franchises, because I was thinking of Teresa, and I thought to myself, Teresa's had a few moments where so many people would say, you're nasty and mean. Mm-hmm. And she always says, but you got me to that point. And boy, do I know what she means.
Yes.
Boy, do I know what she means. And so when I think of Teresa, when Teresa is like, for example, when she said Margaret always has a plate of food in front of her, like, or whatever she said, or Margaret, she never goes hungry or whatever. People thought Teresa, oh, you're horrible. But it's like, okay, but wait. Margaret was boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so Teresa, boom.
Yeah, boom.
But that's what happens when you boom, 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 boom. You get and then the person gets they go, oh.
Oh, yeah. Because they were, totally.
And so I just think that Sutton's like that. She gives those little things, and she pushes people to such a point where they have to
they got
And then she's like,
oh, what happened?
Well, why would you do something like that? And Kyle's like, no. I was heated. And then when Sutton says, like, what about you? Yeah. Then you're like going at Kyle. Because I think that one thing that I think you see very clearly early on when these housewives go through life-changing parts of their lives, they either decide that they are going to make it define them on the show, or they want to keep it completely private from the show. Right. And for example, you look at Erika Jane. Okay. Erika Jane needed to make it super public because she doesn't have the money to not. Meaning like she needed to film, Kyle Richards has more money to do whatever. There's nothing the housewives can do any of it to lower her well-being. So she wants to work out. She wants to be sober when she films. She wants to keep all of the drama of her personal life off the show this season as best she can. Doesn't mean she won't talk about it. Just means she doesn't want to have the drunk moment. She doesn't want to have these moments where she then looks back and says, whoa. So she got to a place where she's like, whoa. Ramona, so she's like, this is going to want anything with Mario on the show. Right. But then you looked at, I don't know, who's someone else. Bethany, for example. Bethany always had her stuff, not with Brynn, but Bethany usually brings her bullshit to the show because Bethany, her income, her brands, everything is fueled by television at that time, not anymore. But at that time it was. And I just think that it's very clear. And I think Kyle's not using the show as much as they spent Thanksgiving together and that was not filmed. Oh, they did? Nothing. Oh. Yep. Oh, that's interesting because I heard Mauricio say this week that he wasn't going to be watching The Housewives because it was too upsetting to him. Maybe he won't, but that doesn't mean they aren't able to, maybe they're separated. Maybe they need to figure things out. Somebody came out this week and said that Mauricio hates Kyle. Who was it? I don't know. I didn't. Oh, somebody came out and said it. Jeff Lewis again. Jeff Lewis.
It was Jeff Lewis again. I know it was Jeff Lewis. I was thinking Jeff was like, they said he doubled down on Mauricio hates Kyle and she's on a lesbian on Ozempic.
Jeff Lewis needs to go make a cameo on Botched and gets those lips fixed.
I like Jeff though. I like that amount of snark, I guess.
I think it's desperate.
Well, next week
couldn't keep a job on Bravo.
Okay, well, there were lots of reasons for that.
But he couldn't.
He couldn't keep a friend. He's one that shouldn't talk because he can't keep a friend either. Anybody who's been close to him, he can't keep going.
When he and Jenny Poulos ended things, Jeff Lewis's career started to it was like a small little hole, and every single year it loses a little more air.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it just slowly deflated. I do believe that their friendship is a farce, though.
Okay.
Sutton and Kyle.
I think it's a housewife's friendship. It's like a work friendship.
They would never see each other.
They're coworkers.
That's it. They're coworkers. Once they quit the factory, you never see them again. You have a cake for them on the way out, the last day, and then they're gone.
Like, I don't understand.
And you say, we're going to get together. We're going to stay in touch. And you never do.
But here's my thing. I've worked at a summer camp before. Can't you treat it that way? See you next summer.
Yeah.
We're best friends in the summer. We hang out all the time. Like, why can't you do that? I have friends for different things. I have friends that I watch football with. I have friends that I do certain things with.
Yeah,
you and your husband have friends that you go to a game with once a year. What's wrong with that? Do you talk to them every month leading up to the
No. Don't talk to them at all.
But you pick up where you left off when you go to that game.
Yeah, it totally.
So why do they need to treat that's what I think it is. Kyle doesn't treat the housewives as her real friends. If she gains a real friend from it,
who's her real friend? Dorit.
I think Dorit. Faye Resnick, Kris Jenner,
the morally corrupt
Kris Jenner,
Faye Resnick.
What's her name?
Kris Jenner is
real friend.
And they were friends with Nicole Brown,
Teddy Mellencamp. Those are her real friends.
Who'd you say before Teddy? I said Nicole Brown, but she's dead. But they were friends. They were all in the same circle.
Taylor Armstrong.
Oh, you think they're really friends?
Yeah, they were before, and they are. Yeah, that's like old school Beverly Hills. Linda Thompson, Brody Jenner's mom.
Oh yeah, they're
all in the same circle.
Yeah, they're real friends. Yeah, no. Linda Thompson though is friends with Taylor Armstrong.
Yes,
but they're not in Kyle's circle with Kris Jenner.
I understand.
That would be weird.
No, but I think Kris Jenner's probably fine with Linda Thompson too.
Yeah, but they're not like hanging out as buddies. Not. You know what I mean? They have the same husband, wife. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. What do you call your ex who becomes a woman?
Husband, because Kyle, that's what Kylie says. Kylie calls her dad, her dad.
Yeah, I know that. What I'm saying is that
my ex-husband. I don't think you need to say, I think you can say he. Because when he was in your life, it was he whatever he thinks. It doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just saying it's just sort of weird if you're married to a man.
It's very difficult.
Like my husband's become a woman.
I don't like that. That's the one thing I have to say is like reality is reality. Even if you want to say even if you do transition, you were a man during those experiences. Don't change their experiences with you.
Listen, Linda Thompson was married to Bruce Jenner.
Yes.
And Kris Jenner was married to Bruce Jenner. Mm-hmm. Period. And Kris Jenner was married to Robert Kardashian, who represented O.J. Simpson.
Yes, we all know.
Kris Jenner's best friend, Nicole Brown, who got murdered. I know.
And then the morally corrupt Faye Resnick posed naked after the Playboy,
and she was part of the same group. I know.
She wrote a book.
It's so old Hollywood. I love it. And next week, you know who's back?
Who? Camille Grammer.
Camille and Denise walk in. It's going to be good. Oh, no. And I'm going to tell you,
Camille,
she doesn't look good.
Donachucci Grammer.
No, but I think she goes by her new name. I think it's Mason was her daughter's name.
Meyer.
It's something similar to that.
Meyer.
Yeah, Camille Meyer.
Camille Grammer Meyer.
Oh, she should just be Camille Meyer.
Do you know that Brad went to
Do you know she's never, ever spoken ever to Kelsey Grammer again?
I know, and I love that. Yeah, do you know that Brad went to high school with Kelsey and Camille's daughter, Brooke Grammer? Something Grammer. He went to high school with her. I lied. the boarding school in California.
Because he went. Yeah, I forget he lived in California. I always forget that.
He went to boarding school with her.
In California, I always think of him as Rhode Island. I don't know.
They were
why.
buddies. Yeah, because he was from Barrington.
Yeah. Exciting. I kind of looked at a house in Barrington. It's not bad.
It's the only nice part of the whole state.
No,
Newport.
Newport's.
Yeah,
Newport's nice. All right. So, who's your mess?
My mess has to be Sutton. Because,
I'm going with Sutton too.
Sutton, I thought that after you yelled at Avi that you were going to keep him off TV, now you're bringing him back. You just love to punish people. You're going to make him so sad.
Oh, God bless you. Oh, God bless you again. Yeah, I would go with Sutton. I think she's got a problem. I think she's using something and drinking, and I think it's making her a little unstable. We've seen that before. Almost like a LA Southern version of Kelly Ben-Simone.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see how that plays out. All right.
Anywho, thanks, y'all.